Let's do this one. Just a second. Let me get my screen back up and. Okay. So let's take a look at some charts. Okay, so it's hard to say when. It's hard to say like when it's gonna happen, because like this is the way that I'm tracking HEX right now. Okay, let me take off these EMAs and stuff, make it easier for you to look at. All right, so right now, to me, in my opinion, obviously we've had this massive trend line, like right here, right? We got this massive trend line, okay? Huge trend line. HEX has been holding that trend line for like since November of 2020. Okay, you can see we've hit it several times. We hit it there twice, we've hit it there once, we've hit it there almost, and then we've hit it here, and we've hit it here again. Problem is that we have now broken that trend. Okay, you can see clearly, like it's clearly a break of that trend. So it's hard to say like exactly where the price is gonna go, because typically when it breaks trend lines, I mean, like in classical TA, they'll tell you that when it breaks, like if you have like you could chart it something like this if you wanted to, like a rising channel, right? Let me fix that. If you have some sort of like rising channel like that, right? Like look, it's got several touch points, like one there, you got like one there. So if you have like this rising channel, typically they say in classical TA that if it breaks down, then typically you're gonna reach the bottom of that range, the bottom of the channel. I think that's too out there. That's like literally less than a penny. I don't see that happening at all. I don't see HEX going down to the bottom of this range. However, what I do see is this. So I've been tracking this for a while. You can see like this trend line right here. Okay. This is the trend that we were in before we broke bearish. Okay. And so you can clearly see like it's been in this range for quite some time, from May of 2021 all the way to like the all-time high. And then we broke down out of that. So, and then the other thing is this triangle right here. Okay. This, you could call it a bull flag, a massive bull flag. If this breaks down out of this bull flag, first off, you have the bottom of this range. Okay. Right there. That is like the 3 cent level. Okay. 3 cents all the way up to like 6 cents. Okay. And then also, if you take like the wick, like if you measure this, move right here, you can measure it from the bottom, like right here, and say, if it breaks upwards, you'd be looking at a target around like $7 or $8 if there's sort of break upwards. But if it breaks down, I mean, it's not going to be good. Like you're looking like less than a penny. But so that's the thing, like with classical TA on these charts, like this is a log chart first off. So I don't see it going down 97%. Like that's just too much for me. So what I'm predicting is that I do think that it's going to dump. So what I'm predicting is if it does dump, and if it dumps soon, because if we launch Pulse Chain somewhat soon, right? Hopefully in the next couple months. So the next couple months, like the end of this triangle is August of this year. I do believe we're going to have Pulse Chain by August of this year. Fingers crossed, no guarantees, but I do think that is a reality. So if this does break down, because I'm predicting that the price of HEX is going to dump as we go into Pulse Chain. So if this does dump, I could realistically see this coming back down to the 3 cent range. That's like 72%. I think that's reasonable. The price has already fallen to where we're at right now. Price has already fallen at 74%. So, I mean, I can be hopeful. Like, I don't want it to go down that much. And if it does, I'm going to dollar cost average in more, right? I'm not saying, like, I don't find pleasure in saying these things. But, like, if we're looking at the charts and we're looking at TA, we're looking at confluence, we're looking at things that give us indicators on whether things are bearish or bullish, Like, these are seriously things we need to consider. Like, one, Pulse Chain's coming out. So I just think that it's like buy the rumor, sell the news event, right? Like that's very common in crypto. And people push back on me all the time on me, like, oh no, this is different because it's Pulse Chain and Richard Hart's projects and Hex. It's like, yeah, but it's like we just saw a 74% correction, and it's been trading sideways for quite some time. Like, these charts aren't invincible. So to me, going down to like the 3 cent mark, that would be a 92% correction. I think like that's harsh, but going into Pulse Chain as liquidity leaves HEX, I think this is like realistic. We could see down to 3 cents, maybe up to like 6-7 cents. Worst case scenario. I think that's worst case scenario. 3 cents all the way up to like 6 cents. So that's like right before Pulse Chain. Like, as soon as Richard Hart announces Pulse Chain, I think we're going to see a pump in HEX because people are going to start loading up, right? Like, I know I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be loading up on HEX, right? As soon as Richard Hart announces that we're in V3, bam, right there. That's when I'm going to start like really getting in more on HEX so I can get copies, right? So lots of people are going to be doing that. So there's going to be a pump that's buy the rumor, and then as soon as Pulse Chain comes out, it's going to be sell the news for HEX. It's going to be a big dump. So that's what I'm predicting is going to happen. And then your second part of your question was, and what's your prediction for launch date? I already went over that. So I think we're going to see a pump going into launch date. So if this breaks down out of this triangle, let's say we start like heading to the downside, maybe like, I don't know, something like that. Maybe not that much, but like, let's say, no, not like that. Come down like this or whatever, maybe flirt with these areas, right? Like that. Maybe we'll see like a retest, right? And that's where the pump will be. Retest to this, like, 16 cent, maybe up to 20 cents. And then boom, dump all the way down to, the 3 cent mark. That's what I think is going to happen right there. Something like that. So I hope that answers your question. If I do a ladder now with 500, how much are the fees? I've never used ETH. So it depends on the day that you do it. So if we look at Etherscan, let's go to Etherscan. If we go to Etherscan, the GWEI is 32 GWEI right now. So it's about $1.95 per GWEI. So what is that? So about $62 per transaction right now. So a little bit high. But if you buy like on, let's say like a Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, late Sunday, Saturday night, like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and early Sunday morning, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the morning, typically you can get lower GWEI, lower gas fees. I was told to wait to buy HEX. Yeah. You can if you want. I mean, it's personal preference, really. Like, if you want to wait, you can wait. If not, you can just dollar cost average. So I mean, it's personal preference. But if you do buy HEX now, I don't know if you know, Nicola, but you're gonna get copies of all your liquid EHEX and all your staked HEX on Pulse Chain. You're gonna get copies of that all in the Pulse Chain. Okay, just want to make sure it's safe. Yeah, it's safe. I've been staked for since August of last year. I've been making like 36% APY on my money. So also the 3.69 yearly inflation is locked up for years in some or most cases. Yeah, this is true too. Alex has no admin key and is bulletproof. Yeah, that's the thing is, Alex, the HEX code is immutable. That means that it can't be changed. You can't, no developer can go in and like tamper with it. Nobody can go change it. So that's how it has 100% uptime. There's no downtime with HEX. That's one of the greatest benefits of it. Is it's immutable code. It's a very strong code. It's been audited like 3 different times. Like it's a very, very strong code and base. So it's that's why we are all Hexicans, is because this is a revolutionary technology. It literally, in my opinion, this is literally the next Bitcoin. Like, if you were to buy, and this is the crazy thing, if you could wrap your mind around this concept, Okay, let's all take a warp drive and go back in time, back to 2008 and 2009. If we go back to 2008 and 2009, okay, in hindsight, everybody would buy Bitcoin, right? Because we know what it's doing today. So imagine everybody buying Bitcoin back in the day and just holding on to it, never selling it. And what if instead of just holding on to it and trusting that you're going to hold it, what if you were paid to hold it? That's literally what HEX is. If HEX came out in 2008, 2009, or if Bitcoin had the same function as HEX, the same protocol, where you get paid to hold the token, essentially, and have it locked up for a long period of time, literally there would be trillionaires out there right now, because Bitcoin did a 6.9 million X on its own without any minted, inflation, without any rewards or anything. So if somebody were to have bought Bitcoin in 2008, 2009 and just held it until today, it'd be up 6.9 million X. But imagine making that 6.9 million X and then getting paid on top of it 40% APY on top of it. That's literally what HEX is. It's the greatest thing ever. Security of deposit. You see 9 cents. Let's go back and look at the chart. 9 cents. Dude, that's not that far away from where we're at now. Dude, look at these dumps, Davis. Look. 9 cents is right here. Here, let's draw this out for you so you can see. There's 9 cents right there. 9 cents and a little bit. So you think, look at this. So you think going into Pulse Chain that it's only going to dump to 9 cents? First off, we had this dump right here, okay? This dump was 75%. Okay, this little one right here was 50%. Okay, then we pumped back up 178%, and we had another dump, and now it's down 63%, man. So you're telling me that you think that this whole 75% dip, if you agree that it's going to dip before Pulse Chain or going into Pulse Chain, you're telling me that these massive 75% dips aren't going to happen? So let's say from here, let's say we go back up here 90%, okay, to the top of this range, and then we dump to your price. That's only 60%. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot more dumpage than that. And if from where we're at now, I mean, that's only another 28% away from where we're at now. So, yeah, man, I think it's going to dump a lot harder than that, if I'm being honest, because everybody's going to want to get into Pulse Chain. Everybody. The only money that's going to stay on Ethereum is the stakes, people that are staked on Ethereum already. Other than that, I think most of the liquidity is going to just go right out of liquid HEX, EHEX, and just flow right into PHEX. So I think that's going to create a massive, almost liquidation event where you just have dump after just dumpage after dumpage. Right? I mean, 3 cents is and here's kind of the scary thing is if 3 cents doesn't hold, because look, 3 cents right there, we had some price action right here back here in May of 2021. There was price action here that was supported the 3 cent mark, right? You can see that right there. It's not very strong, but look, if that doesn't hold, there's this was literally just green candles all the way up here. So there's nothing that's going to hold it from, if it breaks 3 cents, there's nothing that's going to hold support until that's another 45%. There's nothing that's going to hold support until right here, right? Which is I don't know, 2 cents all the way down to 1 cent. So it's I don't want to get all bearish and create FUD or anything, but I'm just looking at the technicals, and I'm just looking at the downside risk is all I'm doing. And if I believe that EHEX is going to dump because most of the liquidity is going to flow from EHEX into PHEX, it just makes sense that the price is the only, if people are selling or getting rid of one asset for something else, I mean, the price is, price action's going down. So, but who knows? Like the other thing, that you could be right in the sense that like if we can hold support right here, let's say let's make an assumption. If Pulse Chain doesn't come out for another like 1 to 2 months, let's say, or like maybe even like 2 to 3 months, if Pulse Chain doesn't come out for like 2 to 6 months, then I could see us maybe breaking out here and breaking to the upside, right? And if we break, depending on how high we break to the upside, like if we have a massive rally, like if we can, reach new all-time highs and create new all-time highs before the Pulse Chain launch, then definitely I think they're still going to dump, but then I think your 9-cent mark, I think that will bear more fruit. In fact, I would argue that it would be higher. It'd probably be this level right here where it's at now. 12 cents where it's at now, because look at this. You've got touches here, got touches here, got touches here. So if it does come up this way first, like do something like this, right? And then let's say Pulse Chain launches right around this time, then it's going to start to dump, right? And then you're looking, if it does that and we're up here, then it dumps 80%, 90%, that would be perfectly fine. 12 cents would hold because it dumped 90% from up here. But if we're dumping 90%, if we're having a huge massive, 70%, 80% dump from where we're at now, like let's say Pulse Chain gets launched next week or the week after, I'm seeing it, dude. If 3 cents doesn't hold, I see this going down to 2 cents or even lower if it doesn't hold. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. But see, on the contrary, the other part of it is if that does happen, the Pulse Chain, or not Pulse Chain, but PHEX is going to go up, right? Because if money is flowing from EHEX into PHEX, you can make stupid gains over in PHEX. PHEX is just going to shoot straight up. So, because if you had less buying power if you lost on the price of HEX dumping to trade for Pulse. Yeah, possibly. Just thinking out loud, strategizing. Because you would have less buying power if you lost on the price of HEX dumping to trade for Pulse. Are you talking about trading like your PRC20s? Be safe, guys. Got to run to bed. All right, Davis. Peace. No, I think Pulse Chain launched dumped down to 3 cents. I mean, 9 cents is pre-launch bottom. Like this week, we hit 9 cents going back to 22. Yeah, I love FUD if it comes with TA. It's funny. All right, yeah, I think I might call it a night here too, guys, with the stream. I think I'm gonna clip this though. I had this last part here. I think I'll clip it because this was some good TA, if I do say so myself. How do I get to my there it is. All right, I'm going to make this clip real quick and then probably call it a night. Hey man, we're glad to have you part of the community, Alex. Seriously, like we love new onboards. We love people coming in and sharing their experience. And it's funny because a lot of people are maxis. They're like I was a Cardano maxi before I got into HEX. Straight up, and I still like Cardano. I think it's a good blockchain, but I'm more bullish on Pulse Chain and PulseX and HEX. I think there's more opportunity there. Mr. Let me see. Which one? I'm trying to see. What is your price? Okay, so that was your answer. That one. If I do a ladder now with 500, how much are the fees? Never use ETH. I answered that. I was told to wait to buy HEX. We talked about that. Okay, just want to make sure it's safe. Also, talked about that. Alex, HEX has no admin keys and is bulletproof. We talked about that. I see 9 cents. Because you would have less buying power if you lost on the price of HEX dumping to trade for PLS. I think I got your comment, bro. I just wasn't sure if you're talking. Are you talking about your PRC20s? I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, like so if you like once you get copies of your ERC20s on Pulse Chain, your PRC20s, like we don't know what the value of those things are going to be. So yeah, you might not have as much buying power, but you got them for free. Like, are you going to be mad? Like, I mean, they're literally free coins that you can put into an asset that's probably going to do a 10,000x. So, I mean, to me, it's like not a big deal. Anyway, star. All right, yeah, I think that was all. Let me clip this TA that I did, and then call it a night.